Chapter 1: Ashes of the Past. There are certain nights when time itself seems to bleed. The moon hangs low tonight, bloated and red like a wounded god. I can hear it whispering to me, through wind, through shadows, through the silence of the centuries. It murmurs his name. No, not his. Not anymore. Samuel is dead. But his soul is not. I stand at the edge of the rooftop, the cold wind biting through the layers of my coat, though it cannot touch the cold inside me. Below, the city breathes, its streets full of life and unknowing. And there, among them, walks the boy with his face. No, he is not a boy. He is grown now, soft edges shaped by time, not yet hardened by life. Leo, they call him. A laugh escapes me, sharp and humorless. Leo, a name like light, a name that doesn't suit the soul that once betrayed me. But when I look at him, something breaks. He moves differently, gentle, unaware. Samuel never walked like that. Samuel was sharper, calculating. His eyes were blades, not open windows. Yet Leo's carry nothing of the storm I once drowned in. Is this what you came back as, Samuel? This pale, pure, trembling echo of yourself? The wind shifts. I can smell his skin from here. Carries warmth. Vanilla and acrylic paint and faint citrus from a cheap soap. His pulse beats with reckless trust as he steps into his studio apartment, unaware he is being watched, unaware that fate has already closed its jaws around his throat. I move before the night grows old. It takes little effort to cross the distance. I slip inside like shadow, silent, unseen. The hallway light flickers as I pass. My presence disrupts electricity. I feed on more than blood. His door is closed. I hear a record playing inside. Something soft. Piano, of course. He always played music when he painted. I don't knock. I never do. The lock breaks beneath my hand with a soft snap. He turns at the sound. And just like that, my world stills. He stands by the easel, brush in hand, shirt smeared with color, eyes wide with confusion, not fear. Not yet. His mouth opens. Who? I speak before he can finish. Hello, Samuel. The brush clatters to the floor. You've made a mistake. My name is Leo. I don't know you, he says, backing into the wall. Liar. But no, I can't call him that. Not yet. Not when his fear is real. Not when he's still untouched by the memories that ruined me. I close the distance slowly, like I'm approaching a deer. But I'm not a hunter. No, I'm something far worse. I'm the one who loved him. Your name is buried under 100 lifetimes of lies. But your soul remembers me. I whisper. His back hits the bookshelf. His fingers curl around a glass paperweight like it might save him. Get out, he breathes. I'll call the cops. You won't, because I'm going to take you from here. And you'll come with me. I say. Like hell I will. I smile. It's not a kind thing. You already have. He fights, of course. But I've seen war. I've fought armies for less than him. I carry him out through the back stairwell, one hand clamped over his mouth, the other around his waist. I'm careful not to hurt him. Not yet. He thrashes and kicks. I let him rage. Let him feel powerless. The second the ritual begins, he'll understand. I carry him into the ruined chapel I've kept hidden beneath the city. Candles flicker in iron sconces. The floor is cracked marble, stained with old blood. He's gagged now, wrists bound. Not with rope, but silk soaked in my blood. Symbols drawn on the stone glow faintly as I lay him in the circle. His eyes scream at me. Good. I kneel beside him, my hand pressing over his chest where his heart gallops. Do you feel it? That pull between us? You don't remember it, but it remembers you. I whisper. I draw the blade from my coat pocket. A ceremonial dagger. Silver hilt. Black runes carved into the steel. The same blade he once plunged into my chest. Tonight you return to me. I murmur, slicing my palm open, letting blood drip onto his chest. He jerks, but the circle binds him. Tonight, your soul remembers mine. The blood begins to glow. Leo gasps, his body arching as the ritual takes hold. Memories, ancient, broken, angry, begin to stir in the air between us. I see them flash in his eyes, a hallway of stone, a kiss in candlelight, a betrayal in the snow. Tears spill from his lashes. Good. Let him weep. Let him suffer as I have suffered. Let him feel the weight of eternity like a chain around his soul. But then something shifts. His eyes meet mine, not with guilt, not with recognition, but with fear, real trembling fear, and innocence. And for a moment, just one, I falter. This isn't Samuel. Not yet. Maybe not ever. The blood seal finishes binding. The tether is complete. You are mine now, I whisper. Leo's chest rises and falls in ragged breaths. He's crying. I should feel triumphant, but all I feel is cold, and that goddamned ache in my chest again. The one that never went away. The one only he could heal. Or break. Chapter 2, the bloodbind. He sleeps for hours. The ritual took more from him than I expected. Or perhaps I simply forget what a mortal body can endure. I sit by the fire, watching the slow rise and fall of his chest. The flames paint shadows across the walls. Shadows that look like the past trying to crawl back into the room. I hate how peaceful he looks, like a cruel parody of the man who destroyed me. But the blood has settled. The bond is sealed. He belongs to me now, and I belong to him. Damn me. When he wakes, it is violent. He jolts up with a gasp, eyes wild, breath tearing through his lungs. He clutches his chest where the blood mark was burned in. His skin is pale, beaded with sweat. I rise from the chair. Easy. He scrambles backward, dragging the blanket with him, eyes locking on me with raw panic. What the hell did you do to me? I don't answer immediately, because I don't know how to make it sound justified. Instead, I say the truth. I brought you back. He shakes his head. Back from what? What is this? My chest. Why does it burn? The ritual bound our souls. You are now tethered to me by blood and memory. You can no longer run. I say, voice low. Run? I didn't even know you. He's trembling. I watch the way he wraps his arms around himself, like the weight of the air is too much. The way his fingers dig into his own skin. He isn't acting. There's no manipulation here. It hits me again. This version of him is different. Gentler. Fractured in ways Samuel never allowed himself to be. But it doesn't matter. My revenge cannot afford softness. I take a step forward. You may not remember me now, but you will. I will make sure of it. Every lie, every kiss, every betrayal, you will see it. Feel it. Drown in it. I say. He shakes his head. I didn't betray anyone. I don't know you. I've never. I snap. You murdered me. My voice breaks against the stone walls. He flinches like I struck him. 500 years ago, you looked into my eyes and told me you loved me. You kissed me. Then you drove a dagger through my heart. I hiss. His mouth opens, but nothing comes out. I see the fear in his eyes. But underneath it, I think I see something else. Guilt? Recognition? Or is it just the bond echoing my emotions through his bones? I turn from him. My voice softens despite me. I should hate you more than I do. He doesn't speak for a long while. Then, quietly, why me? I glance at him. Because your soul belongs to the person who betrayed me, and I was cursed to feel its return. Every time you are reborn, I feel the ache, the pull. This time, I found you before the world could take you from me again. He swallows. You don't know who I am. I know you better than you know yourself. He stares at me like he wants to believe I'm insane. It would be easier, wouldn't it? I reach out, brushing my fingers across his cheek. He freezes. Soft skin. Warm. Alive. He was always warm. I lean in close enough for him to feel my breath. Tell me, Leo, why do you think you've dreamed of fire? Of blood? Why do you wake up feeling grief you can't name? His breath catches. Got you. He shoves me suddenly, panic flaring in his eyes. Get away from me. I'm not whatever you think I am. I'm not him. I let him hit me. Let him scream. It won't matter. The bond is already working. Soon the memories will bleed in. Soon he will know. Chapter 3: Chains and Shadows. Mortals don't understand what silence really is. They think it's the absence of sound. No music. No voice. No movement. They don't know silence the way I do. Not the kind that creeps into your bones after centuries. Not the kind that comes after every scream has gone hoarse. The silence in this manor has teeth. It gnaws at me, but not as much as he does. I watch him from the far corner of the library. He doesn't know I'm here. He's pacing, restless, barefoot, wearing one of the shirts I left for him, though he clearly resents it. The sleeves are too long. They fall past his wrists. He keeps tugging them up with shaky fingers. He hasn't spoken to me since last night. Good. Let him think. Let the bond settle into his blood like rot into roots. He moves to the heavy oak doors and tries them again. Locked, of course. Then to the windows. Sealed. Reinforced with blood runes. The forest outside would eat him alive before he got 10 feet. Finally, he slams his palm against the glass and lets out a quiet, strangled sound of frustration. Not a scream. Not a cry. Just despair. I step into the light. He turns, startled. I wonder if the bond lets him feel when I enter the room now. You're wasting your energy, I say. He glares. Let me go. No. Then kill me. I raise an eyebrow. Is that what you want? He falters. Of course not. He wants freedom. He wants truth. He wants to believe none of this is real. I cross the room and pour a glass of water from the decanter. I offer it to him. He doesn't take it. Still pretending you're above needing anything from me? Even water. I murmur. His jaw tightens. I'd rather die thirsty. You won't die. Not while we're bound. He blinks. What does that mean? I circle him slowly, like a wolf circling something wounded but brave. It means if you hurt yourself, I feel it. If you suffer, I suffer. If you die, I die too. I whisper near his ear. He steps back. That's insane. No, it's justice, I say. He tries to leave. I let him walk past me. But when he crosses the threshold of the door, the blood bond flares. He gasps and stumbles, one hand to his chest. His knees hit the stone with a thud. I'm there in a heartbeat. I shouldn't care. But I do. I drop beside him, reaching to steady his shoulders. You went too far. The bond resists distance at first. I say, I'm not a dog on a leash, he chokes. No, you were the blade that cut my heart out. Now you're just remembering what it felt like to bleed. I whisper, brushing sweat from his brow. He stares up at me, chest rising and falling. And God's help me. My fingers brush through his hair, not out of malice, not to control, but because I missed this. Even if it never truly existed. I carry him back to his room. He's half-conscious from the backlash of the bond. He doesn't fight me. I lay him down on the bed and sit beside him. He murmurs something, almost a name, not mine, his own, like he's trying to remember who he is. Why do I care if he's in pain? Why do I care if he fears me? He killed me, burned everything I loved. But this boy, this man, he doesn't look like a traitor. He looks like someone I should protect. My hand tightens into a fist. I rise and leave before the warmth in my chest turns into something I can't afford to feel. Back in the shrine room, I pick up the painting I started years ago. The one where Samuel smiled at me under a blood moon. I stare at it, then rip it in half. Chapter 4: Cracks in the Ice. I can hear his heart before I see him. It's gotten louder. Not just the sound, but the pull. It thrums under my skin now. A second heartbeat pounding inside me. Too close, too synced. Our bond is growing stronger. We're hungrier. And so am I. He's in the sunroom when I find him. Though there's no sun here, not really. The light that filters through the old glass is pale and gray. His back is to me. He's sketching in charcoal on a scrap of paper he must have stolen from the library. His hands are smudged black. His hair's a mess. Barefoot again. He looks fragile like this. Mortal. Mortal in every terrible, beautiful way. Still trying to find yourself? I ask, my voice colder than I meant it to be. He stiffens but doesn't turn around. It's the only thing I'm allowed to do. You're allowed to breathe. That's more than you gave me. I say. That gets him. You keep saying I did these things, but I'm not him. I don't remember hurting you. He says. Not remembering doesn't absolve the sin. I didn't ask to be part of this. You didn't ask to be born. But here you are. I snap, stepping closer. His lip curls. You're not looking for justice. You're looking for someone to bleed with you. You want truth? Then let me show you. I say. I grab his wrist. He flinches. I don't stop. I press his palm to my chest, right over the scar. It's faint now. The body heals. But the soul never forgets. Right here, this is where you stabbed me. Where you kissed me and said, "Forgive me." Before you drove the blade in. I murmur. He shakes his head. Stop. Look at me. I demand. No. Look at me. His eyes lock with mine, and I release the bond. Just for a moment. The memory hits like fire. I watch it flood him. The echo of another life. Another face. Another hand holding that same dagger. Samuel, dressed in black, eyes wet with guilt. Me laughing, blind, so stupidly in love. Leo gasps. He tries to pull away. But I don't let go. You feel it now, don't you? The guilt in your bones. The shame in your blood. It's not just a dream. It's what you are. I whisper. He's shaking. I hate that I feel sorry for him. You're insane. He breathes. You haven't seen insane. He glares up at me, tears brimming. Then show me. And I snap. I shove him back into the wall. He gasps as his spine hits stone. My hand pins his wrists above his head. My body presses too close. I can feel the heat of his panic, the rise and fall of his breath against mine. I lean in, my mouth at his ear. Is this what you feared I'd become? A monster? He doesn't answer. I brush my lips along his jaw. Not a kiss, just a threat. You wanted to see how deep it goes? This is how deep. I whisper. He shudders. And then, he whispers, broken and raw, "Please, stop." That one word cuts through me like the dagger never could. Stop. Not because he hates me, but because he's scared. And suddenly, I'm not holding Samuel anymore. I'm holding Leo, and he's terrified of me. I let go. He collapses to the floor, curling in on himself, shaking. I take 2 steps back, then 3. Then I turn and punch the wall hard. My knuckles split. I don't care. Blood drips down my fingers. It's quieter than his sobs. What the hell am I doing? This isn't vengeance anymore. This is cruelty. I swore I'd make him remember. I didn't swear I'd break him. I didn't mean to. I start. He flinches. That's all it takes. I leave the room like it's on fire. Later, in the darkness of the crypt beneath the manor, I sit alone. My hand throbs. The blood has dried. I stare at the wound and think of his tears, of how he said please, of how Samuel never did. Samuel, I whisper to the silence. Why did you come back like him? Chapter 5, The Portrait Room. Memories rot slower than flesh. They survive in oil, in canvas, in pigment ground from ash and rust. And I've preserved them like a priest preserves relics. Too sacred to burn, too cursed to let go. I never wanted him to find the portrait room, but I should have known he would. It starts with footsteps. Bare again. Always bare. Leo has a strange habit of forgetting shoes, even when the stone should chill him. He's light on his feet, but I know the sounds of his body. The rhythm of him is burned into me. The east wing door creaks open. I don't move. I stay in the dark, hidden in the carved stone gallery, watching. He steps inside the portrait room like he's walking into a mausoleum. In a way, he is. Dozens of canvases stare down at him. Some complete, some ruined. He doesn't breathe for a full 10 seconds. His eyes move slowly, from the painting of Samuel wrapped in crimson sheets, to the one of Samuel asleep in the garden, pale skin bathed in twilight, and then to the central one, the one I always kept veiled. But I never enchanted it. Maybe I wanted him to find it. Maybe some pathetic part of me wanted to watch him see what we once were. He reaches for the veil, pauses, then pulls it back. The room stills. Even the candlelight seems to dim. He stares. I know what he sees. Samuel and I, immortalized in a moment before everything fell apart. We stand together in a marble courtyard. My arms around him, his hand over my heart. Smiling, both of us, as if we didn't know what was coming, as if we believed in forever. Leo stumbles backward like the sight struck him. And then, he starts to cry. I'm beside him before I decide to be. I don't speak. I just stand in the doorway. He doesn't notice me at first. His hands tremble as he presses them to his mouth. A sound escapes him, small, broken. His shoulders shake. Why does it feel like I remember that? He whispers. The bond sings beneath my skin. He's waking. Not fully. Not yet. But enough to hurt. You do remember, I say. He turns to me, eyes red. I don't want to, he says. I step closer. You were happy then. I don't know him. I don't know you. You knew me better than anyone ever did. He shakes his head. Then why did I betray you? I say nothing. He looks back at the painting. We look real. Not like a fantasy. Not like a lie. It wasn't, I whisper. He walks toward the painting again, slowly. The way someone approaches a coffin. Tell me about that day. Tell me what happened. He says without turning around. I sit on the stone bench against the wall. And for the first time in centuries, I let myself remember. It was summer. The last one before you. Before it ended. I begin. He listens. You came to me in the morning. Stole bread from the kitchens. You always did that when you were nervous. I never called you out on it. I smile bitterly. You'd painted a small portrait of me the night before. Said it was terrible. It wasn't. I still keep it. Hidden. He finally looks at me. I remember holding your hand that night, just like in the painting. You told me you felt safe with me, that you didn't care what I was. I say. His voice is a whisper. A vampire. A prince, but yes. You kissed me before the sun came up. And you told me, forever sounds better with you in it. Correct. Leo sinks to the ground, hands in his lap. He doesn't cry again, but he looks empty. I sit beside him. Not close, just near. I wanted to hate you after what you did. I tried. I buried every good thing you ever gave me. But it wouldn't stay dead. I murmur. He turns his head. Our eyes meet. Then why did you paint this? Why not destroy it? He asks. Because I needed to remember you weren't always a monster. He swallows hard. And maybe I needed to remember I wasn't always one either. Add. The silence stretches. Then, he says softly, I don't think you're a monster. I blink. He looks away quickly, like he regrets saying it. I could say 1,000 things. I could ask what changed. I could press the moment. Instead, I reach into my coat and pull out a folded square of parchment. I hand it to him. He hesitates, then opens it. It's a sketch. Old, worn, smudged from too many years and too many fingers. It's him, laughing, alive, before everything. I couldn't paint that one again, so I kept it. I say. He stares at the sketch for a long time. Then, almost inaudibly, I wish I could remember what it felt like to laugh like that. I exhale. Not quite a sigh. Not quite a sob. You will. And for a moment, in the ashes of ruin, under the gaze of ghosts, we sit there not as captor and captive, but as two souls breaking in the same shape. Chapter 6, Possession. The wind shifted tonight. Not the kind that speaks through the trees or whispers in the cracks of old stone. This shift tastes like betrayal, cold metal, and blood. Familiar. Damian is close. Of course he is. He always comes when I let my guard down. Like a crow scenting weakness. I should have killed him centuries ago. I find Leo in the upstairs study. He's curled up in the armchair, blanket over his shoulders, reading one of my books, his book actually. One Samuel once claimed was too dry. Leo has nearly finished it. His eyes flick up when I enter. I didn't take it from the shelf, it was already here. He says quickly. You don't need to explain, I reply. My voice is too quiet. He notices something's wrong. You're tense, he says. Funny how easily he sees through me. Even when he claims not to remember me, his instincts haven't forgotten how to read me. Stay inside this room, no matter what you hear, I tell him. His brow furrows. Why? Because something's coming, and I'll kill it if it gets near you. He stands up slowly. Edward. I'm gone before he can finish. I find Damian standing in the moonlit hall outside the chapel corridor, leaning against the stone like he owns it, cloaked in black, smiling with all the warmth of a blade. Brother, you smell feral, he drawls. Get out. You brought him back here, the little soul you couldn't let go. He grins wider. I say nothing. He steps forward, running a hand along the wall, the blood runes glowing faintly under his palm. How long have you been hiding him? And more importantly, why? I grit my teeth. He's none of your concern. He's a reincarnation, not a resurrection. You know how fragile those are. They break. They run. They forget. Or worse, they remember. Damian says, leave. He chuckles. You're possessive. That's new. Usually you just kill what you can't control. Say that again, and I'll rip your throat out. I whisper. The air shifts. He's in front of me in an instant. Fangs half-bared, voice low. You're weak, Edward. You used to be feared. Now you're playing house with a mortal echo and calling it love. I don't hesitate. I grab him by the throat and slam him into the wall. Stone cracks beneath the force. His smirk falters. You have no idea what this is. I growl. He chokes out a laugh. Oh, I do. It's pathetic. I throw him across the hallway. He lands hard. Blood smears the floor. And I don't stop. The rage burns white-hot. I'm on him before he can stand. My fist crashing into his jaw. The sentries fall away. All I see is the threat, the infection, the jealous little brother who always wanted to ruin what I loved. He grins through the blood. You're still the same, you know, just colder, more desperate. You touch him and I'll destroy you. I spit. He doesn't belong to you, he never did. Damian hisses. The bond pulses. A sharp pang shoots through my chest. Leo. He's too close. I stand suddenly panicked. Damian chuckles weakly from the floor. I vanish before he can say a word. Leo is at the top of the stairs, barefoot again, wearing nothing but that too-long shirt, hair a mess, eyes wide with fear. Leo. I reach for him. He flinches. The pain is instant, worse than a blade, worse than the silver. He takes a step back. What's happening? I felt it. I felt something break in you. Nothing broke, he's gone. You're safe. I say quickly, trying to keep my voice calm. But he doesn't relax. He looks past me, toward the faint trail of blood down the hall. Did you kill someone? I pause. No. Should I be relieved? You keep saying I'm yours, but what happens if I stop being what you want? He says, voice trembling. You don't stop, you change. And I change with you. I whisper. His eyes shimmer. I don't know who I'm becoming. You're becoming real, not Samuel, not Leo. You. I say. He closes his eyes and says the last thing I expect. Then please, stop trying to own me. I stand frozen as he turns and walks back to his room. I could follow, but I don't. For the first time in centuries, I don't know what to say. Not because I'm angry, because I'm afraid. Afraid that if I don't let him go, he'll never choose to stay. Chapter 7, The Deal. The silence in the manor is different tonight. Not the silence of centuries. Not the silence of tombs. This one has breath in it. Tension. The kind that comes before a storm or a confession. Leo hasn't spoken to me since the last dream. He woke screaming, then sobbing, then silent. His eyes haven't met mine in days. But tonight, I feel him coming. The bond thrums like a harp string as he approaches. I feel it in my ribs. That ghost of pain I've carried for 500 years. Shifting, sharpening. Not grief this time. Choice. He finds me in the library. The fire is low. Books strewn across the table. Old volumes I pretended to read while waiting for him to come to me. I don't look up. You remember something, I say. He doesn't answer immediately, just stands there, one hand clenched at his side, knuckles pale. Finally, I want to make a deal. That gets my attention. I look at him. His face is drawn, eyes shadowed with memory. But there's something else beneath the fear now. Resolve. The kind Samuel wore before every act of rebellion. But this isn't Samuel's defiance. This belongs to Leo. What kind of deal? I ask carefully. He swallows hard, then steps forward into the firelight. Help me remember. All of it. Don't just force it through dreams and pain. Walk me through it. Show me everything. The real truth. You think you're ready for that? No, but I want it anyway, he says. I watch him, his chest rising and falling like a man walking into the sea. And what do I get? Ask. He hesitates. Then, if I remember everything, and I still don't want you, I leave. You let me go. The words hit like a stake to the heart. I smile, but it's a bitter thing. You ask for mercy from a man you once murdered. If I'm Samuel, if that's true, then maybe I deserve your revenge, he says. I rise from the chair slowly. And if you're not? If all of this, everything you're feeling is just echoes? Lies? Would you still stay? If your soul remembered but your heart didn't? His voice is quiet. That's what I need to find out. The fire crackles between us. I can smell the adrenaline on him. The fear. But also something else. Not love. Not yet. But no longer hatred either. Curiosity. And guilt. Gods, the guilt tastes sweet. I could lie to you. I could twist the memories. Make you see what I want. I say, stepping closer. But you won't, he says. I raise a brow. You sound certain. His voice doesn't waver. Because if I really mattered to you, even now, then some part of you still wants me to choose you willingly. I stare at him, and something inside me, some old, cracked part, shudders. He's right. God's cursed me, he's right. I walk past him, to the far wall where a blackened mirror hangs. Its glass ripples with dormant magic. The kind that remembers. I place my palm against it, and the runes flare. I'll show you not just fragments, not just pain, but the whole tapestry, from first kiss to final betrayal. I whisper. He comes to stand beside me. I glance at him. But you need to understand something before we begin. What? I turn toward him, and let the full weight of centuries bleed into my voice. If you remember the truth, you may beg me to keep you. I say. He swallows. I raise my hand again. This won't be a dream. This is no illusion. When you walk into memory with me, you'll feel everything. As Samuel did. You'll see yourself kill me. You'll remember what it cost. He says nothing. So I ask, quieter now, are you sure? He nods. Then take my hand. He does. Our fingers touch and the blood bond ignites. The mirror shudders. A ripple spreads across its surface like oil over water. And then it opens. Not a door. Not a window. Something stranger. A wound in time itself. We step through together. Darkness first. Then firelight. Stone walls. Echoes. The taste of winter in the air. A castle. My castle. Before it fell. Before the betrayal. And Samuel. Alive again. His face is not Leo's now, not exactly. But close enough to hurt. He's laughing. Boots echoing on stone as he pulls me into the hall. There's music in the distance. Some feast we both ignored to steal a kiss in the dark. I remember this night. Leo gasps beside me. That's me. No, that's him. I murmur. Chapter 8, The Weight of Memory. Memory is a knife. It doesn't cut all at once. It scrapes, layer by layer, until you forget what it felt like to be whole. Leo is breaking, and I am letting him. We've walked through a dozen stolen moments together now. Candles, letters, forbidden kisses in marble corridors. Each one softening the line between who he was and who he is. But I've been waiting for this one. The last memory. The night he killed me. He doesn't know yet. Not the full truth. He remembers the blade. The betrayal. but not the why. Not the damn reason that kept me from hating him completely. I watch him now, sitting on the steps of the ritual chamber, back hunched, hands trembling. His lips are cracked from biting them. His eyes, dull, hollowed, sunken with too many visions. Look at the floor like he's afraid it'll open up and drag him under. Ready? I ask, my voice gentler than I mean it to be. He looks up slowly. No, but do it anyway. I nod once. We stand. I take his hand, he flinches but doesn't pull away, and guide him back to the mirror. The blood seal flickers. The runes hum, eager, hungry. The truth isn't just memory. It's judgment. The mirror swells open again, swallowing us whole. Snow. Always the snow. I taste it before I see it. Iron and frost and finality. The memory unfolds in slow motion. The same castle. The same courtyard. But it's darker now. More real than any of the dreams before. And there he is. Samuel. Cloaked in black, hood pulled low, walking toward me. Toward the memory of me. Across the snowy yard with fire in his eyes and death in his hand. Leo's grip tightens on mine. The scene plays out like it always has. The past me smile like a fool. I trusted him even then, right up to the moment the dagger slid through my ribs. But now Leo sees the part one never could. A whisper. Samuel's voice. He's speaking to someone just before the walk. Not me. Damian. Leo gasps. What? I freeze. I never saw this. Never heard it. This piece was missing from me. I step closer. So does Leo. You swore they'd live, you swore. My family, the village, you'd spare them. Samuel is whispering to Damian. Damian smiles. Cold. And I will. But only if you do your part. One clean strike, Samuel. End the cursed line, and walk away. Samuel turns, eyes full of guilt and fire. He trusts me. And that's why it will work. The words hit like a spear to my chest. I stagger. The betrayal wasn't greed. It wasn't cruelty. It was blackmail. Leo's breath hitches. He didn't want to kill you. He had no choice. And I drop to my knees. The scene rushes forward. Samuel walking, kneeling before me. My younger self placing a hand to his cheek. Whispering something. Leo speaks it with me. Forever. Then the blade. Then the snow. Then the scream. Not mine. His. Samuel screaming my name even as I fell. Collapsing beside me. Holding me. Sobbing. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. The memory fades. The chamber goes still. Leo rips his hand from mine and stumbles backward. His eyes wide, wild, glassy with horror. He falls against the wall and slides to the floor. He starts shaking. Then screaming. A sound no mortal throat should make. He claws at his chest like he's trying to rip the blood tether out with bare hands. His breath comes in choking sobs. I felt it. I felt myself kill you. Oh my God. I move to him. Leo. No. Don't touch me. Don't. He gasps and crumples forward, forehead to the stone. I stabbed you. I killed you. I felt your blood. On my hands. I felt your heart stop. I know. His hands curl into fists. He didn't want to do it. I didn't, he begged. I know. His voice cracks in half. He was going to kill my family. You would have died either way. I know. Silence. Then soft. Broken. I'm so sorry. I kneel beside him. Not touching. Just breathing. Don't say that, don't apologize. Not yet. I murmur. He lifts his head. Tears paint his cheeks. His lips tremble. Why? Because I'm not ready to forgive you. He stares at me. That wounded animal look again. But this time it's not fear. It's guilt. And grief. And understanding. I would have chosen you if I'd had a choice. He whispers. My voice shakes. I know. I reach for him, slowly this time, and he doesn't flinch. My hands find his shoulders. I draw him close. And when he starts to sob again, I let him bury his face into my coat. I hold him, like something sacred, like something cursed, because he is both, and so am I. That night, when I carry him to bed, he doesn't fight me. He clings to my coat like a child. I lay him down gently, cover him, sit beside him as he falls asleep. His hand finds mine in the dark. No chains, no command, just touch. And when he breathes out my name, not Samuel's, not in memory, but mine, I feel something shift inside me. Not vengeance, not power, something quieter, something I don't yet know the name for, but it feels a little like mercy, and a little like peace, and it terrifies me, because if I let it in, then the monster I became may never come back. Chapter 9, The Breaking Point. There are moments when immortality feels like a cage. And then there are moments like this when it feels like a curse. He's asleep again. Not deeply. His body shifts, brow furrowed. Haunted even in rest. The memory broke him. No, unlocked him. And now the guilt lives in his bones. Same as mine. I should feel satisfied. Vindicated. But all I feel is small. As if my centuries of rage were built on a truth too fragile to hold it. He didn't want to kill me. He loved me. And he still does in ways he can't understand. I sit beside his bed, watching the light from the hearth flicker across his face. His lips part. A whisper, barely audible. Edward, not Samuel. Edward. God's help me. I reach out, tracing my knuckle down his cheek. He stirs. Eyes flutter open, soft, glassy, tired. For a moment, he looks at me with something close to tenderness. Then the fear comes back. The shame. The wall. He shifts away. Don't. I pull back, the cold returning to my fingertips. He sits up, drawing the blanket around himself like armor. Why are you still here? He asks, voice raw. I could ask you the same. He doesn't reply, just stares into the fire, face hollow. Then, quietly, I remembered your last breath. My throat tightens. So did I. He turns toward me, and his eyes are wet. You looked at me like I was the only thing that ever mattered. You were. A beat. His jaw clenches. I don't deserve your forgiveness, he says. No, you don't. I whisper. That makes him flinch. I see it in the twitch of his shoulders. But I don't take it back. Because the part of me that still hurts wants him to know. To feel the weight I've carried. I rise from the bed and pace to the window. The night outside is thick with mist. Trees sway like ghosts. The blood moon is days away. And my control is slipping. I hear him shift behind me. His breath quickens. I know the bond makes him feel it, the storm building in me. I spent centuries waiting to hate you, I say. But it never came. Do you understand how that feels? To be betrayed, killed, and still crave the touch of the hand that did it. He says nothing. I grab his chin. Not roughly. Not gently either. He freezes. Tell me you don't feel it. Tell me I'm a monster. That you want nothing to do with me. Lie to me, Leo. Lie. I whisper. His lips part. But no words come. So I kiss him. Not soft. Not cruel. Just desperate. The kind of kiss that has 5 centuries of grief behind it. The kind meant to break both of us. He gasps. And for one heartbeat, he doesn't pull away. Then, no, don't do that. Don't touch me like that. He shoves me, stumbling back. His hands shake. I freeze. My breath catches in my throat. He's crying. Again. But not like before. Not from confusion or pain. This is something deeper. Something I've caused. He falls to the floor, curling in on himself. I don't know who I am anymore. I can't breathe. I can't think. And you keep pushing. He chokes out. I go still. Colder than I've ever been. Because I swore I'd never hurt him again. I fall to my knees in front of him. Not touching. Just breaking. I'm sorry, I lost control. I whisper. He doesn't speak. He's trembling. And I feel it. The bond throbbing in my chest. Not magic. Not pain. Shame. Real human shame. I bury my face in my hands. I wanted you to remember. But not like this. Never like this. I say. Silence stretches between us. Heavy. Cracking. I don't know how to stop loving you. Even when it kills me. Even when it hurts you, I say. He lifts his head slowly. His eyes are bloodshot. Raw. You say you love me, but all you see is him. He says, voice hoarse. No, not anymore. I whisper. A breath. Then truth. I loved Samuel. But I'm falling in love with you. His face crumples. Not into rage. Not even grief. But exhaustion. He nods once, like something inside him finally collapsed. And he says nothing else as he climbs back into bed, turns away, and lets the silence swallow him whole. I don't sleep that night. I sit at the edge of the bed, back to him, watching the flames die. He's right. I don't know how to love without destroying. And if I can't change, then I'll lose him. Chapter 10, Leo's Choice. 3 nights. He hasn't spoken to me in 3 nights. Not in words. He moves like he's underwater. Silent. Slow. Always just out of reach. But I feel him. Every emotion rippling through the bond. Grief. Confusion. Anger. And something else. Something quiet. Slower burning. He won't look at me. Not when I bring him food. Not when I leave it untouched. Not when I sit across the fire at night and pretend not to watch him fall apart. I deserve this silence. I earned it. But gods, it still feels like suffocating on ash. Tonight, I find him in the studio. The one room in the manor that still smells alive. Acrylic. Dust. Pine oil. Warm skin. He's painting. His canvas is thick with layers. Like he's tried to paint over something he couldn't bear to finish. I step inside. He doesn't turn. Only says, "Close the door behind you." I do. The fire crackles in the corner. A single candle burns beside the paint-streaked sink. He paints 2 more strokes, then sets the brush down. He still doesn't look at me. "You say you're falling in love with me," he says. I take a breath. "Yes." "Not with Samuel." "No." "Then look at me and tell me who you see," he says. I do. He's not Samuel. His face may echo that life. But Leo's posture is different. The way he holds himself. The way he questions everything. There's fire here, but it's quieter, deeper. Not the rebellious spark I remember. Something steadier. Someone who could survive me. Or save me. "You're Leo. You are someone I don't understand yet." I say. "I'm not your second chance. I'm not a ghost you get to remake," he says. "I know." He steps forward. "And I'm not here because of the bond. I didn't choose this. You dragged me here. You took everything from me." "I know." He stops inches away, close enough to feel the tremble in his breath. His voice drops, barely more than a whisper now. "Then why do I still care what happens to you?" That's when I break. I press a hand over my mouth like I can stop the sound. Like I can hold in the guilt, the grief, the terror of finally being seen. I sit down hard on the studio bench. My knees feel weak. "I don't deserve that. Not from you," I say. "No, you don't." He kneels in front of me, not submissive, not afraid, just human. "I should hate you, some part of me does. But every time I remember what you were, what we were, I feel like I'm trying to mourn someone who hasn't died," he says. I meet his eyes. "Maybe he hasn't, not entirely," I say. "Maybe neither of us has," he says. And then he rises and walks to the window. The snow's falling outside. Quiet. Relentless. "I'm not promising anything," he says. "I wouldn't ask you to. But I want to know if this thing between us is real. Not just the bond. Not the past. Something now. I don't know how to give you that, but I want to try," I say. He turns, slow. And for the first time in centuries, I feel something I thought I'd buried forever. Hope. He crosses the room, stops in front of me. Then, without warning, he reaches up and touches my face. Not a kiss, just his hand on my cheek. Simple, gentle, real. "I'm still angry," he says. "I hope you stay that way. It means you're still you." I whisper. "I'm not staying because of guilt," he says. "Why then?" He looks me dead in the eye. "I want to know what love looks like without blood between us. And goddamn me, I want to know too." That night, he doesn't sleep in his room. He stays on the bench in the studio, wrapped in a blanket, head tilted back against the wall, eyes closed but not dreaming. I stay too, at first from fear of pushing him away again, of needing too much, but slowly, as the fire dims, I sit down beside him, not touching, just breathing, and for the first time it's enough. No chains, no ghosts, just two men, sitting in the wreckage of all their past selves, trying to become something else. Chapter 11: Blood and Fire. Love has always come for me like a war, not gentle, not healing, but now it feels like something else, like Leo sleeping beside me on the studio bench, like breath warming the cold edge of winter, like maybe, for once, I'm not just a monster trying to imitate a man. I don't know what this is becoming between us, but for the first time in 5 centuries, I want it to become something. That's why I should have known it wouldn't last. Because peace has a smell, and death has one too, and I smell him before I hear the door. It happens fast. The manor groans. A flicker, no, a tear in the air. And suddenly Damian is standing in the doorway, boots wet with snow, his cloak still dripping from some portal I never felt open. Leo stirs beside me. I rise instantly, positioning myself between him and my brother. Damian's eyes gleam. Hello, reincarnation. You're prettier this time. Shame you'll burn. I step forward. Don't touch him. Damian raises a brow. Oh, but I won't have to. The council has ruled. My blood goes cold. He tosses a scroll onto the ground. Wax seal. The symbol carved in ancient red. Vampire High Council Decree. Edward Vauclair, he says, mocking the title I haven't used in ages. Your bond is unlawful. Your actions are treason. And the mortal you've tethered will be executed to sever the soul link. Leo's breath shudders behind me. I don't look back. I can't. Damian smirks. Unless, of course, you give him up. Break the bond yourself. Confess your sins. Beg for absolution. I say nothing, because I already know what's coming. Or you burn your seal. Sever your bloodline. Become nothing. He says. Leo whispers behind me. What does that mean? I close my eyes, then say it. If I burn the seal, I become rogue. Fully. No name, no title, no protection. I'll be hunted until I'm ash. Silence. Then Leo steps beside me. He doesn't speak, but he looks up at me, and I see it. Not fear, not pity, conviction. The mark on his chest where the bond still glows, faint and alive. I once swore vengeance, built a life out of it. But I don't want revenge anymore. I say. Damian's smile vanishes. You're serious. I draw my dagger. Same blade Samuel used. Same one that started it all. I hold it to my palm. Then slice. Blood drips, red, black and slow, onto the seal stitched into my coat. The mark begins to burn. My name shatters in the air. An old magic unraveling. Leo gasps. I feel it. Like something being ripped out of me, like being born, or dying, or both. Damian shouts, "You're insane." I don't look at him. I look at Leo. I'm choosing you. And with those words, the seal burns to ash. The bond flares, bright and white-hot. But this time it doesn't hurt. Leo stumbles back, but catches himself. The manor trembles. The council's spell destabilizing. Damian snarls and lunges. But I'm already moving. We collide in a crash of bone and blood. I drive him back into the wall, fangs bared. He tries to twist the blade from me. But I'm faster, stronger, because I finally have something to protect. I plunge the dagger into his side. He screams. Not fatal, but enough. He vanishes in a blur of shadow, bleeding into the snow, dragging his rage with him. Afterward, everything is quiet. Too quiet. I collapse to my knees, blood pouring from my hand, my body shaking from the ritual backlash. Leo rushes to me, catching my shoulders. Edward! I meet his eyes, and this time there's no prince, no vampire, no past, just me. I'm not bound to you anymore, not by blood, not by curse, not by name. I say. He touches my face. Not as a prisoner, not as Samuel. Just as Leo. I know, he says. And I'm still here. Chapter 12. The Sanctuary Ruins. There are places even time forgets. Hidden between worlds, buried beneath stone and snow, forgotten not because they lacked power, but because they held too much. This cathedral was one of them, a ruin carved into a cliffside, swallowed by frost, bones, and ivy. I found it centuries ago when I wanted to disappear, when I still believed silence could kill memory. Couldn't, but it's quiet here. And now, after everything, that's enough. Leo stands at the edge of the collapsed altar, looking up at the shattered stained glass. The sun filters through what's left, fragments of saints and monsters bleeding color onto his skin. He's beautiful in this light, too human, too alive. I walk toward him, careful not to disturb the brittle peace between us. He doesn't turn, but I know he hears me. Does it feel safe? Ask. He nods once. Safer than the manor. The manor was never meant for peace. He finally glances at me. What was it meant for? Memory, punishment, obsession. I built it to keep ghosts alive. I say. His eyes soften. And this place? I don't know. Maybe this is where ghosts come to rest. I breathe in the scent of stone and dust and cold. He's silent for a while. Then, you're quieter now. I burned the part of me that needed to scream. He lets that sit between us. Then he steps over the broken threshold of the altar, kneels down, and pulls out a sketch pad. He's been drawing again. Not faces, not visions, just the present. Ruins. Like my hands. His own reflection. It's the closest thing to a prayer I've ever seen. I sit on the broken pew across from him. Watch him work. The way his brow furrows. The way he bites his lip when a line doesn't feel right. The way his fingers smudge charcoal over stone-colored paper. After a while, I ask, "Are you afraid of me now?" He looks up. No, I don't ask why, because I already know. He sets the sketchbook down, stands slowly, walks over to me. Then he sits beside me. We say nothing for a long while. Then he asks, "When did you first fall in love with him?" I close my eyes. The first time he lied for me, when he stood in front of my father and claimed he'd never touched me. When his voice didn't even shake. Leo is quiet. I can feel him thinking. Do you still love him? I pause, then answer honestly. I love what we were. I loved who I was when he looked at me. He nods. And me? He asks. His voice doesn't tremble. I turn to face him. You're not a mirror of him. You don't fill a void. You don't replace a ghost. You're something I didn't know I could want again. I say. Then he leans forward. His lips brush mine. Soft, careful, not desperate. The first kiss we've shared with no chains between us. It ends before I can fall into it. He pulls back, watching me. Is that okay? He asks. And God's, that question, that permission. I don't answer with words. I just kiss him again. Deeper this time. Still gentle. Still slow. His hands find mine. Our fingers interlace. There's no magic in it. Only skin. Only warmth. Chapter 13. The New Ritual. The snowing again. The flakes drift through the broken cathedral windows like pieces of ash. Soft. Unhurried. Silent as the dead. Leo is awake before me. I feel the shift in the air. The bond may be broken in blood, but something deeper still pulses between us. No magic. Just instinct. Him. I rise slowly from the corner of the altar ruins where I slept, surrounded by old statues and older regrets. The fire's out. The chill bites less now. Maybe because I've stopped fearing the cold. Leo is by the old fountain. The one that hasn't run in centuries. He's cleaning it. Takes me a moment to understand what he's doing. Then I see the symbols carved into the stone beneath the frost. Ritual markings. Not mine. Older. Purer. I walk to him. What are you doing? He doesn't look up. Just keeps brushing dust from the glyphs. There's another way. Another what? He finally turns. And in his hands, bloodroot, silver ash, a small knife wrapped in white cloth. No, you're not doing this. I say immediately. I am. You don't know what this costs. Yes, I do, he says. He stands, moves closer. His expression isn't reckless. It's calm, like the sea before a storm. I'm not offering this because I owe you, or because the council's still out there. I'm doing this because I choose you. I shake my head, heart pounding. I don't want you bound. Not again. His voice softens. Then don't bind me. Let me bind you. I stare at him and realize he means it. Not a ritual of control. Not tethered servitude. Not what I did to him. Something new. Something equal. Covenant, not a curse. I ask, you'd give your blood willingly? He nods. Not to trap you. To anchor you. I step back, breath caught in my throat. I don't deserve that. He closes the distance. Places the knife in my hand. No, but maybe that's not the point anymore. He says, the altar is cleaned. Candles flicker. Glyphs glow faintly under the snow. We kneel across from each other. My hand trembles as I unwrap the blade. I don't want to hurt you, I say. You won't, I'm not afraid, he replies. And God's help me, he means it. I slice his palm carefully, then mine. We press them together, and the magic begins. But it's not like before. There's no agony, no screams, no tearing of memory or soul. This is slower, warmer, like sunlight bleeding through old ice. I feel him, not fragments, not past lives. Him. His heartbeat steadies mine. His pain settles into silence. His love, if it can be called that yet, blooms inside me like something reborn. And then, the bond seals, not with a scar, but with peace. The moment breaks when the ground rumbles beneath us. I spin, senses flaring. They're here. Leo tightens his grip on the blade. How many? Too many. The council's hounds. Shadow walkers. Damian. They'll have tracked the severed bloodline to this place. They always find the broken ones eventually. I rise. Leo follows. And this time, when the wind howls and fire sparks in the distance, I don't step in front of him. I stand beside him. I'll fight with you, he says. I glance at him. Not behind me? He shakes his head. Not anymore. I bare my teeth in something almost like a smile. Then let them come. They crash through the walls. Magic snarling. Blades drawn. But I am not the prince they condemned. And Leo is not the boy I took. He moves with fire in his eyes, drawing sigils mid-air, blood flashing like lightning. I carve through shadow spawn like they're made of paper. We move as one, bound not by vengeance, but by choice. At the end of it, Damian falls to his knees, bleeding, defeated, his soldiers dead or scattered. He looks up at me, snarling. You'll die like the rest of them, alone. I pull Leo to my side. His chest is heaving, blood on his knuckles, ash in his hair. No, not alone, I say, and with a final blow, Damian crumbles into dust. The silence that follows is deafening. We stand in the ruins, surrounded by blood, smoke, moonlight. Leo looks at me. I touch the place over his heart where the bond settled. A soft hum beneath the skin. I don't know what comes next, I say. He leans in and kisses me, slow, steady, like a promise. I do, he whispers. Chapter 14 burned, but free. The world didn't end when I chose him. It should have. By every rule written in blood and bone, it should have. I broke my oath. I defied the council. I burned my name to ash. But the world didn't end. It just kept going. And for the first time in 5 centuries, so did I. We live in a cabin now. Wood, stone. A roof that leaks when it rains, but only a little. The forest is thick around us. Too far for anyone to come looking. Too quiet for anything to haunt us. No council. No war. Just snow in the trees, soup on the stove. And him. Leo. He's painting again. Always painting. Sometimes ruins. Sometimes memories. Lately me. Not the monster. Not the prince. Just the man who sits across from him at breakfast with bed-wrecked hair and calloused hands. Later that night, we sit by the fire. The warmth of it. The stillness. He speaks without looking up. Do you miss it? Miss what? The power. The immortality. The name. I think about it. Then I shake my head. No. He glances at me. Not even the throne? I meet his eyes. I traded a throne for this, and it wasn't even close. I say. He nods. Then, after a long pause, he whispers, "You're not the monster I met." I say, "But you're not now. You made me want to be better, and I didn't know that was still possible." I say. He reaches over and takes my hand. Not out of fear, not out of ritual, just because he wants to. That night, under the blood moon, I wake to find him watching me. His fingers trail over my chest, tracing scars old and new. "Can I ask you something?" he whispers. "Always. What if I never remember everything? What if parts of him never come back?" I look at him, and I smile. "Then I'll fall in love with you again. Every day. No ghosts required." His eyes shine, and for the first time since he stepped into my world, he doesn't cry. He just leans in and kisses me. Soft, certain, real. Outside, the snow falls like feathers. Inside, the fire crackles. And for once, we are not haunted. We are here. We are free. And this love, this quiet, bloodless, living thing, is the only eternity I want.